Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin the January 2019 First Friday Coffee, as sponsored by our friends from Venture. You know, even when the sponsor doesn't applaud, we know they're that nervous. Ashley, keep them going over there, will you? So I need to have coming up here, if I could, Reverend Brad is right down here. I saw him. Reverend Brad Bradford, come on up. Melissa Allegretto, Representative Mel Ponder, and Senator Doug Broxson, will you please come up? Will you please rise and join our friend here, Reverend Brad Bradford, the worship pastor at Shalimar United Methodist Church. Look, we're already having our picture taken. To lead us in invocation. Would you pray with me, please? Father, what a blessing it is to be here in this place today. And what a blessing it is to acknowledge your presence here. Father, we thank you for the food that we've had, and Lord, we thank you that you can continue to bless that to our bodies as we serve you. And Lord, we thank you for those that prepared it. And Lord, we want to take just a moment and we say thank you. Lord, thank you for the community in which we get to live. Thank you for what you continue to do in and through this place. And Lord, thank you for how you bless us abundantly and call us to be a blessing as you continue to bless us. Lord, we thank you for Nick and Janet Chubb. Father, we thank you for Nick's leadership this past year. Lord, we pray that as they move into this next chapter of their life, that you would bless them as well. And Lord, for leadership as we continue, Father, let us be directed by you and follow the path that you've promised that you would show us as we acknowledge you and as we seek to follow you. And Lord, in our great community, we pause and thank you for all of our military personnel. We thank you for their sacrifice as they help keep our freedom safe. Father, keep them safe and bless them abundantly, as well as all of our first responders as they meet every need that we have in our community. Lord, we want to pause and say we love you, we thank you, we praise you, and we bless you. And Lord, continue to use us for your honor and your glory. And we pray this in the matchless name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus. Amen. Well done, Dr. Brad. Look at, that was nice. We're now going to ask Senator Doug Broxson and Representative Mel Ponder on stage here and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. And then Melissa Allegretto, come on, I hope you're somewhere. Where is she? There she is. Oh my gosh. And remain standing for the national anthem with our friend Melissa. Senator Broxson.
Help me honor the greatest country God has ever allowed to exist, the United States of America. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now I'm honored to introduce one of our new board members, Melissa Allegretto from ERA American Realty, to lead us in the singing of the national anthem. Please feel free to join in.
Good morning. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare and the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well done, Melissa Allegretto. go. Please be seated, everyone. Thank you, Melissa, ERA American Realty, our new board member. I'm going to ask, to start things off today while they're here, I'm going to ask Senator Broxson and Representative, let's have Senator Broxson. Come on up, Mel, just to stand next to him. It's a good photo opportunity. Folks, we're honored to have our local Senator Doug Broxson here to welcome us officially to January of 2019. Senator Broxson.
Thank you, sir. Can I say to you, thank you, thank you, thank you. In 2010, on April 20th, we had a disaster called the BP oil spill. And this community came together from here to Tallahassee, the Panhandle. We created an 8-county coalition that said we would not selfishly go after the money individually, but we would come together as a community and do this. And it's had a great impact. We've been able to capture billions of dollars that would be flowing back into this economy. On October the 10th, 2018, we had an unprecedented event that happened in Panama City. Let me give you a comparison. It's the biggest damaged storm ever to hit Florida. Irma, which took all the news the year before, when they did all the cleanup, it was 1,000,005 cubic yards of debris. Hurricane Michael will eclipse 70 million cubic yards of debris. And what did you do? Did you sit back and just watch the TV and say, that's Panama City, that's not Fort Walton or Okaloosa County? No, you did the opposite. You got your trucks and your generators and your gasoline and your family, and you went over there and you helped those folks. Our school system accepted without any commitment all the children that needed to be educated. Our counties sent their resources to do what they had to do to make sure those people were safe. Our sheriff's department, our school boards. That's the kind of people we are. Representative Ponder and I get a chance to visit many parts of the state, but let me tell you this. There is no place like the Panhandle. There are no greater people than the people that live here. There's no people in this state that share a common sense of value and what's really important in life than you do. So I want to say to you, thank you.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Just real quick, this is an exciting time. I want to thank Ted and the Chamber. This Chamber plays such a vital role, not just in Okaloosa County, but also in Tallahassee. The arms of the people that make up this body have such a major influence on shifting, protecting, and guiding the culture, not just of Fort Walton, but of a county and of a region, as Senator Broxson talked about. Such graciousness that this area reached out. You know, sometimes people say, hey, the storm went to our east, we're blessed. Most people's mindset, we were blessed to be a blessing. And the cool part about this area is people took their arms, their trucks, and went east to sow and plow and be part of the restoration process. So on behalf of us, on the Senate and the House, thank you so much. It's an honor to serve you. I'm excited about this year. I'm excited about the role that you play. Feel free to call on us in Tallahassee. And Ted, congratulations.
Thank you, gentlemen. Will you do me a favor and stand right there? Representative Ponder and Senator Broxson, will you stay right there? Because we do have one piece of business to conduct. I'm going to ask Matt Turpin and Nick Chubb to come up here. If you're not aware, this chamber takes initiatives on many activities, certainly leading the charge on the half-cent surtax, which we did in October. But we were approached recently by the school district and reminded of a very important component, and that is attempting to solve the traffic issue at Hurlburt. So right there, there's 2 manila folders. One has Representative Ponder's name on it. One has Senator Broxson's name on it. What I'd like to read is this, folks. On behalf of the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, we're in full support of Okaloosa County Board request for legislative funding to purchase 10 passenger school buses and 1 minibus for Floresca Elementary School. Marcia, if you'll take a photo of this. These new buses will ease traffic flow along Highway 98 by Hurlburt Air Force Base and reduce mission impact by allowing for a flexible schedule at Floresca Elementary to avoid peak military traffic. We all know about that. Is there any, could you just tell me, so these folks, besides this letter, is there anyone else here by applause that would like to help resolve the traffic issue by Hurlburt? All right. So we have that signed, that letter signed by Matt Turpin and myself, and we have it now signed by about 285 folks. So rather than send the 50 cents to mail it to him, we thought it'd be best if we just hand delivered it to you today. So Matt, will you sign that letter? Because we did not do that. We wanted you to see that it was official, Representative Ponder and Senator Broxton, that this was officially signed by Matt Turpin as his first goal and role as our new incoming chair. So thank you all. Thank you, Representative Ponder, Senator Broxton, and please let's get those buses for Fluorosa so we can help resolve that issue at Hurlburt. Thank you, gentlemen, for that presentation. So there we go, folks. So we've done some business. We've done a great welcome. Let me share with you now, this is not a normal First Friday coffee. For those of you who come to this on a regular basis, and well, let me just flip it the other way. If you've never been to a First Friday coffee, we normally have juggling, we have circus acts, we have poetry reading, and sometimes we have dancing and singing. Today it's going to be a little different than that because it's what we call our annual installation breakfast, where we recap 2018 and we fast forward to 2019. Our chair, Nick Chubb, who already got recognized in the invocation. What a start for you. How many times we're going to say how wonderful you are today. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. We have gifts over here. We have prizes we're going to be awarding to folks. We have a couple of door prizes. Venture has some door prizes, right? I think Dan Robertson is giving your car today, aren't you? Are you giving that away? Very generous of you. And we'll be talking to them in just a little bit. Venture is our sponsor here today. There'll be no new member introductions. So new members, if you're here today for the first time, please come in February and we'll do the introductions for that. And because we gave away the $800 in December, as you all recall, we have Dr. Scott Smith comes up here from Health Source North, and he gives $100 away, and it accumulated to $800, and we gave that away in December. So today is his wife's birthday, Whitney Smith, so instead of bringing the $100, he said, I'm going to give it to her, not to some random chamber member that I don't know, and maybe I'll, may have a good weekend. So Whitney... So again, if you're new here, for Brad in this case, there was a great invocation. It keeps these people really grounded for about maybe 5 minutes. And then after that, they become a little crazy and shouting out, well done on the comedy routine there, folks. That was well done. So we're not going to do any of that today. But what we will do is honor those folks that helped us in 2018. So RJ Murdoch, I want to thank RJ Murdoch from EmeraldCoastTV.com in the back, who always helps us out. First of all, we're going to thank our annual sponsors, who help us achieve our mission each day. So we have their logo up on the screen. And then I'm going to announce the table sponsor. So these are our annual sponsors that help us out in 2018 by research, by funds, and by marketing efforts to help us achieve our mission. So Fort Walton Beach Medical Center is one of those. Cox is one of them. And if you're one of those folks, you can shout out accordingly. White Wilson Medical Center. There we go. Nice. See that? One person shouting for them is very nice. City of Fort Walton Beach. That's our mayor, in case you're wondering. Well done. That's why you're the mayor, my friend. Good job there. City of Fort Walton Beach. Emerald Coast CVB. There we go, our friends from the CVB. Thank you very much for that. That's tourism. Tourism fun. Note that. That's what it's like. Who's next here? Resort Quest? Is that? I'm trying to see if this is going. Let's see who's that. Okay, Resort Quest. And then Southern Rentals and Real Estate. Bid Wizards. Not all computer people are nerds. Take note of that. Nice. Good addition of the owl at the end there. That was very nice. Community broadcasters are your favorite community broadcasters. CRI, Kyra, Riggs, and Ingram. Northwest Florida Daily News. Image Printing. Cumulus Broadcasting. Charlotte and Lisa Captain and Melissa here. Nice. So you were not invited to sit at the Cumulus table, Charlotte? Oh. If they say there's a meeting with you today at 10. And last but not least, Fast Signs, our good friend Dick Marks. So those are our annual sponsors. Now I would like to give a shout out to those people who purchased a table today so they could be in the front row, not like Pastor Dave, but sitting in the back by himself. I see you're sitting in the back there. And Keith King, you were the employee of the year from Preston Hood and you're sitting at a table by yourself? All right, well maybe if anyone needs a car, see the guy in the back by himself and get that today from Preston Hood if you could. So here's our table sponsors. First one, of course, Venture. We got Dan down there we're gonna hear from a little bit, and Phil is here. Phil, get ready, you're coming up here, man. Phil's here. Got Karen and Ashley and the Scott and Elisa Black are down there. Emerald Coast Harley. Thank you, Allie and Sarah, the marketing people there. Paradise Promotions, Wes Fell, going to have a big event here. Wes has got a who's who. You got Natalie over there. Oh my gosh, you have Joni and Jenny from Southern Style. I can only do so much. I can only say the name and hope that people seated at the table catch the wave of excitement. Cox, I saw Bob Bernard here. We got Cox. Bernard's here. Coupe's here. Kent's here. All right, well, again, I can only do so much. Salvation Army, Tom Rice is here. I saw Tom. Well done, Salvation Army. Did you have a good year? Good year, good. So thank you for that. Salvation Army's here. We're honored to have them here, certainly. Emerald Coast Convention and Visitors Bureau. Do any men at all work at that place now? It's totally Me Too generation. Just everybody, Jennifer and Melissa, Tish is there, Charlotte, Alicia, Aline, Stacy, Carrie. I mean, they have got a team doing great things for our tourism. We're very proud of that. The Peterman Agency, right here in the front. Special guests, Ron Grissom and Bill Roberts. Oh my gosh. Scarlett is there from Air Force Enlisted Village. So excited. Cat Smith, a little date, honey. Let's go. Let's have breakfast. Oksana. Oh my gosh, it's fantastic. City of Fort Walton Beach. Doug Rayner. Doug Rayner's our new PIO guy. Get him going. Chief Lovering, isn't it wonderful to be here? Chief's here helping out till February. Do you think you'll stay? Can we get you to stay longer? He says no only because he's going to hire someone who's better than him, who's going to lead our police department here, right? Anyway, we're glad to have you here. Thank you for helping out. Bid Wizards, the aforementioned Bid Wizards. I see Lewis and Tabitha over there. Jennifer Krause and Marnie Tate, our 1986 chair of the board, is sitting at that table. And Roger Tate, our 1992 chair of the board, sitting at that table. Well done. Nice to have you folks here today. Very exciting. White Wilson, Alan Giesman is somewhere. Alan Giesman is here. He's right over here, surrounded by his folks. Alan, our 2009 chair of the board. Thank you, sir. Remember that day you had to give the going away speech? How nervous do you think Nick Chubb is right now? Very, okay, good. What he meant to say, he's very proud of you. Senator, getting ready. Fort Walton Beach Medical Center, Vicky's out there, and Denise and all the folks, Elizabeth and all the gang there. Thank you very much. Beach Community Mortgage, Pam Woodall, Steve, there we go. Thank you for that. Kim Cox is out there. Is L.A. Woodall sitting at your L.A. Woodall with Pam Woodall. L.A., our 2015 chair of the board. Thank you, L.A., for being here today. Twin Cities Hospital. Did I see David Whalen? I did see David Whalen. Nice to have you here, David. And Paige is out there, and Daniela, and special guests, so we're happy to have you folks here. The Daily News. Did anyone come from the Daily News? Well, there you are. Oh, there they are. Tim Thompson is here. Tim Thompson, the publisher of the Daily News, is here. And Duke and others over there. Jason didn't make it. He's writing a riveting editorial about how wonderful the business community is in Fort Walton Beach. For that reason, we'll give him a pass for not coming today. Jason Blakeney, our new editor of that. Northwest Florida, oh no, here we go. The Island is here. Jackie Blue and the gang. Saw them earlier. Thank you very much. Great job on the renovation, formerly known as the Ramada, now the Island. If you haven't been there, absolutely stop by. It has done just wonderful, wonderful things. Northwest Florida State College, I saw Julie Cotton. Julie Cotton. Julie is the chair of the Destin Area Chamber of Commerce here in 2019, Julie. So thank you for bringing your team here. Senator Doug Broxson and his staff is out there from, we got Henry Kelley and Tim Bryant from School Board, and Laura's here from Matt Gates, and Sam here from Mel Ponder, Senator Broxson. And then you have with you, if I'm not mistaken, Senator Kelley is with you from your department. So we're honored to have you folks here today. The women chairs of the Fort Walton Beach Chamber Board. We have Kathy Houchin, 2008 chair, Lisa Jo Spencer, 2011 chair, Peggy Bachman, 2007 chair. Lynn Christian, did Lynn come? She didn't come. All right. And I see chairs in wait there with Lisa Jo Spencer, team of Sarah and Jesse. And then Wayne Harris has a team. Wayne Harris is here. We're going to hear from him in a little bit. Former county commissioner, former chamber director of Crestview. We're going to hear from him. And right here in front, the Fort Walton Beach Executive Committee, the Fort Walton Beach Chamber Executive Committee. All right, nice job of applauding for yourselves. That was very well done. So now, we have a board of directors, as you may know. We have 7 board members that come in every year and 7 board members that go out every year. And in this case, I'm going to honor those that left after the 3-year term in 2018. They will just stand and be recognized. Their picture will be here. You will not gather in any way, shape, or form because we're done with you. We've taken advantage of you for 3 years. Now we will honor you in front of your peers. We gave you a gift, and we thank you for your effort. Add it to your resume and such. But no, we love these people. Starting off with our good friend Henry Kelley, who's out there. Henry Kelley, outgoing school board member. Charlotte Bergman over there from Cumulus Broadcasting. Stephen Smith from the Peterman Agency. Bernard Johnson from Gulf Power. Pam Woodall from Beach Community Mortgage. Ken Hare from Children in Crisis. And Tammy McGoy. So those are our outgoing board members. We thank you for your 3 years of effort. They did a great job. They've helped with so many things in our community. And here now we have the next step from there are folks who are chairs of the board. Now I honored some of them are here already. Let me see if there's anyone I missed. Mark Hamrick is here from 2013, past chair of the board. Ron Grissom, 2014, chair of the board. LA I mentioned. Tammy McGoy, 2016, chair of the board. 2017, chair of the board, Bill Roberts. And I covered everyone, right? Those are our past chairs that had a chance to lead this organization into wonderfulness. Jill, how are we doing so far? Is it all right? Good. I'm getting nervous with you and Macey sitting in front there. Just going like, Macey, is it fun? How was the food? It's Golden Corral. Isn't it delicious? I love the gravy over the biscuits. Did you have any of that bread? Okay, we'll talk about it later then. Thanks for having us here. So those are our chairs of the board. Very happy to have you all there. Thank you for your leadership. And now let us talk about the 2018 committee chairs. So I'm going to ask Nick Chubb to take a step over there. And what happens again, folks, is we have lots of committees. And each year, the chair of the board selects those people who they would like to help them in the leadership role of the chair of the board. Oh, you know who I forgot? I forgot the life directors. So you stand over there because you might be nominated for life director sometime. So let me do that. When you have a chair of the board, the next step is you could become a life director. And a life director, Phil, just so you know, is our Hall of Fame. And in the 73 years of the Chamber of Commerce, we've only had 11 people who have been selected for a life director, 11 people in our Hall of Fame. So I always like to remind everyone who they are. So RJ or Epi will go through. Don Ankers is one of our chamber life directors. Charles Burgess, one of our life directors, great guy. Jim Glenn, who we're going to honor with the Ambassador of the Year award in a little bit. Kathy Houchins is one of our life directors over there. Congratulations, Kathy. Cliff Long, who has an office over there next to the chamber, is a life director. Bruce Marshall could not be here today, but Bruce is a life director. Gene Reef, life director, long career with the Daily News. Is Gene here? Okay, anyway, thank you for that. Joyce Sanders, who has vanished off the face of the earth, but we love Joyce. Gene Smith, who had the Smith Town Shop, which Gene Smith would have loved having the Gulf View in his parking lot. He absolutely would have loved it and enjoyed the fact that his business was right there. Now it's Harris Insurance, but Gene Smith, a great guy. Lisa Jo Spencer, our most recent life director over there. And a gentleman named Ken Williamson, who we lost a year or two ago, a great folk. So those are our Hall of Fame. We're very, very proud of them and appreciate their efforts and appreciate our life directors who continue to come to our events. So now it's time for the committee chairs. And as I mentioned, in this case, Nick Chubb selected not only the committees, but he selected the committee chairs. And I'm going to ask the person who is in charge of this committee to come up and receive your valuable prize that Nick is giving you, an appreciation for your efforts, and then Marcia Wright Reynolds will take their photo. So in this case, in no particular order, I'll just go with this. Bernita Everett was our ambassador chair, so Bernita, please kind of head on up there. David Presnell was our referral partners and marketing chair of the board, committee chair. The one and only Ryan Price. Ryan Price was our MAC chair. Mark Franks, who I see out there somewhere. Eglin Federal Credit Union. Thank you, Mark. Soon to be Shalimar mayor, perhaps? Is that what I saw? Don't know. Wait till noon today, folks. See what happens on that. Today's a deadline at noon. If you still want to run for one of the offices in our community, you have till noon today to do that. Sydney Harper for community outreach from the Florida Board of Health. Jennifer Krause right over there from Women Connect. Pedro from the Hampton Inn for our tourism partner. Elizabeth Chestnut over here from Fort Walton Beach Medical Center for our healthcare committee. Kim Denman from Nothing But Networking, Kim Denman. And Cindy Berry from Dog Days from Okaloosa Gas, Cindy Berry. And then last but not least, Matt Osley, our young professional empower group. And those, my friends, are those people who volunteered their time to chair the bottle of wine. Do we have a picture of if you saw the coastlines, we actually have, oh, Sydney, I didn't know you were here. It's good to see you. Sydney, hi, how are you? It's a bottle of wine there from the Chubb Vineyards. If you're not aware, Nick Chubb, not only being the chair and the owner of Cadmus R Us, et cetera, has his own vineyard called Chubb Vineyards. And he does, or at least the label indicates that he does. And I'll indicate very strongly, my friends, do not ever drink that bottle. It is just for decorative purposes only. Do not use it. Honey, let's celebrate our anniversary. Let's open that bottle that the chamber gave us. No, don't do that. So it's a token of our appreciation. Thank you all. And those are our committee chairs. Dan, are you getting ready? Because you and Phil, boom, you're next. RJ coming up in just a second is our venture folks when we take this picture right over there. Will you look at the camera, please, sir? That's what's delaying the, thank you. So those are our 2018 committee chairs. We're going to talk about our 2019 committees in just a second. There we have it. Well done. Hold on. The Z-Man is here from VIP Magazine. Paparazzi, there we go. Thank you. So there we have it, and very nice. Again, we're grateful you're here. There's a who's who of people out in the audience. I could just start and go around and start. Hey, David Whalen, how we doing here? Is it all right? Okay, good. Just checking. Make sure you're with us. Sometimes you have to have that big Golden Corral breakfast. It kind of slows people down. But not Phil. Not Phil from Venture, because he's pumped up. Speaking of pumped up, folks, we are honored to have in each and every, oh, hold on a second. Before I do that, Nick, stay right here. I forgot one thing. Nick is a big wine guy, and Janet and such, but occasionally we want to convert him to beer occasionally, because I'm a beer guy, and Seth's kind of a beer guy, and lots of beer people here. So we found this beer, in Beach Liquors, one of our favorite local chamber members. It's called Old Chub Beer. And I think it'd be appropriate if you and Janet consume that on your drive up to North Carolina. I think that would be a wonderful. So, looking for that favorite beverage to have tonight, kids, go down to Beach Liquors and get Old Chub Beer in honor of our old chub, Nicholas himself. So, it's not cold. Look at Ron going, can I have one? So as I was saying, each and every month we could not have this great event without a sponsor, and we've been honored now for the last 3 years to have the Venture Company and our friend Dan Robertson come up here and tell us about their organization. And I will share this from the Chamber of Commerce, folks, that Venture is our payroll company. You'll hear a little bit more about them, but they are our payroll company. And in 14 years, we have never had a payroll issue at all utilizing Dan Robertson and folks at Venture. So we personally are very proud. So I'd like to now introduce the Vice President of Sales, the Paramount PEO Solutions powered by Venture, the one and only Dan Robertson, to kick things off.
Appreciate that. That was a cool endorsement, 14 years. I like that. Thank you so much. He's told me that twice, so I think it's true now. Welcome again. Happy New Year. Another busy year's passed. The compliments made, we hope, of course. I like to feel like I'm getting better every year, and I think most of you do too, at least wiser. But are we better? You know, I sat down last night to watch TV with my kids. They wanted to watch The Rock's new show, the Titan Games. So I'm sitting there watching. It's basically, the premise is regular people like us, but with gifted athletic abilities, facing off against each other in strength challenges and such. So I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, I could do this. Yeah, I can do this. I work out, right? I'm 48. There's a 50-year-old lady on here. They keep calling her grandma. But I can do this. So I sit there a while, and it's over, and I go to bed. I wake up this morning, my knees sore, my elbows sore. I'm like, what? And that's God's message to me. So 2019, focus on spiritual and intellectual growth. I think that's where I'm going to go with that. Okay, so enough of the Titan Games. But Venture, happy to be here, of course. Quick note about Venture. I'm going to be brief because thankfully I don't have to do the presentation today. I have Phil to do that today. So when I came up here last year, we were acquired a little over a year ago by Venture. They're a national HR outsourcing provider. Phil's going to talk a little bit about what we do and how we help businesses, of course. But I think I mentioned last year at that time, on a national scale, Venture was processing around $1.2 billion in payroll. Of course, with the backing of a large private equity firm, a great management team, and some organic growth, that number is now up to about $2.7 billion nationwide. We're a top 10 provider nationwide for those services, over 4,000 clients. So very proud, very exciting time here at Venture. We are one of 4 offices nationwide, so the corporate office is in Phoenix. We have a big office in Atlanta, one in Hawaii, and here in Fort Walton Beach are the only Venture office locations, of course. The owner's a smart guy. He gets best beach on the west, best beach on the east, of course. So we're happy that he did that. Phil Urso is here. He's the Chief Sales Officer for Venture. He lives in Florida, works out of Atlanta, process of moving to Atlanta, I think, keeping from 15 and 16-hour days. So with those 15 and 16-hour days, I think twice yesterday he tried to get me to do the presentation since he's been traveling and coming in. But I said, Phil, this isn't, he sends me the slide presentation yesterday. It was awesome, it's good. He says, hey, what do you think? You want to run with this? I said, Phil, this isn't your normal chamber lunch and learn, buddy. This is 350 people, the most influential people in Fort Walton. I think I want to let you run with this one. And he said, all right. So he got in late last night. He's about to do it. I told him we had 10 to 12 minutes with our sponsorship to talk about what we do and how we help businesses. I said, how long is it going to take? He said, 5 to 6 minutes. I have 2 to 1 on the over, but he's interesting. I promise he's interesting. No, and on a good note, when I first met Phil, he said something that resonates with me all the time. He said, whether I work 12 hours or 15 hours, I go home at night, I try to wind down a little bit, and I have to sit and think, and I have to look back, and who did I help today? And if I didn't help anybody today, I'm disappointed in myself. So I thought if we each did that each day, the world would be a better place. But I'm going to bring up Phil Urso from Venture.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, everybody. And that is a true story, by the way. I wake up every day. There's 2 things I want to do in life. When I wake up, I teach my kids the same thing, or at least I try. It's to be great every day and to teach somebody something new and help somebody out in some way, shape, form, or fashion. At my nightstand every night is a brown book. And when I go to bed at night, the last thing I do is check in with myself and ask myself, were you great today? Did you teach or help anybody something today? And I literally write it down in the book. So for me, life's all about accountability. So it starts with us, it starts with family. So I appreciate the introduction, Dan, and if there's anything that I can do to have an impact on anybody one time, that would be fantastic. I am very impressed by this chamber. When Dan told me the number of people that were gonna be here, and we do chamber events all over the country, but when he told me that this was the largest per capita membership chamber in the state of Florida, I was blown away that it happens right here in Fort Walton Beach. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. The other thing, quite frankly, that I'm blown away with, and this might sound a little sad, but I do travel the country, and 3 things resonated with me already this morning. Prayer, servicemen and women, and flag matter to Fort Walton Beach. Thank you. So this is the 3rd year, I think, we've sponsored this. So Dan with Paramount did it year 1. Venture did it last year, and we are here today, so we appreciate the opportunity. Anytime we can get ourselves embedded with community, it means a lot to us because we grow our business organically through community. I wouldn't say all of our growth is organic. As Dan said, we actually acquired 9 PEOs in the last 12 months. We're actually in high acquisition growth, so we're going to acquire, our plans are 10 more this year in 2019. So we already have the funding, and we're pretty excited about it. Just a little background on us. We don't acquire companies and roll them in. We acquire companies and leave brand and people in place because we think sales and marketing is at the local level and, again, part of community. So from an HR perspective, perspective. We really believe in folks like you and folks like Dan growing our business with those that are next door to us, down the road, and part of this community. So that's our acquisition strategy. As Dan mentioned, we have over 4,000 clients. We have 150,000 equivalent of what we call worksite employees. So worksite employees are employees that are employees of our client base. So just to give you an idea, ADP is about 400,000 worksite employees, ADP Total Source on the PEO side. We have 4 acquisitions in the pipeline that within 60 days will bring our total to about 236,000 worksite employees. So we're pretty excited about that. And you know, we're excited about leaving brand in place again because of community. So little quick note about me. I've been in the business 20 years. I started with a company called VinCam Human Resources out of Miami, Florida. We got acquired by ADP. I've been in the HR outsourcing world ever since. I think I'm a little bit of a nerd. I heard Ted, who, by the way, thank you so much, Ted. Great hospitality, great energy on the stage, hard act to follow, but you guys do a phenomenal job, and thank you, Ted. But in terms of being able to be in the HR business, we like to deliver custom solutions to our client base. So we are not your typical, I don't believe, we're your typical payroll or professional employer organization. So in a lot of ways, people partner with us for different levels of services, right? Some people come to us for payroll. Some people come to us for workers' compensation. Some people, quite frankly, are struggling with healthcare benefits or benefits administration, et cetera. So we actually, you know, we take a different approach to how we approach the business, and we do it through what we call a diagnostic process. So what I thought I'd run through with you today is kind of how we evaluate small business and what we do to try to really understand whether or not there's a value proposition in play, whether or not we're a good fit for each other, whether or not there's opportunity to grow. Because the one thing we do know in communities like this, as Ted mentioned, for 14 years, we've been delivering quality payroll and executing on service. And if we can do that, we're going to grow organically through the referrals and through our client base. So we're going to leverage everybody in the room who is a client or wants to be a client to assist us with our growth. So every small business is different. So if you're looking at payroll companies and HR firms who knock on your door and say, I can help you with this, this, and this, my answer would be much like I am with my kids. I can't teach my kids things that I don't know they need. So we are not a company that thinks we can help everybody. The first thing we have to do is learn about what your opportunities are, what your needs are, how efficiently are you operating your business, where might your pain points be. And quite frankly, as I tell everybody every day, no is a perfectly acceptable answer, meaning that if you don't have the needs for the things that we deliver, it's okay. We shake hands and we walk away. The one thing I would tell you is that if there's an opportunity to work with us, walking through this process in the 20 years I've been doing this has really allowed small businesses to get visibility into your organization from a perspective that you don't normally think about, right? Because we're all working in our business, and technically sometimes we're not working on our business. And so I think the one thing that we can do is ask the tough questions of the team as we're walking through the diagnostic and understand whether or not you actually are operating efficiently, et cetera. So as we talk about, you know, what's a good fit for us, I think about entrepreneurs in this room. One day you guys sat on a couch and you thought about opening a business. And some of those things and reasons why people open businesses obviously are make money, maybe be number one, leverage your experience. So, you know, entrepreneurship starts with, hey, I've been doing this for several years. I'd like to leverage my own talents. I want to do it myself. Certainly, we want to grow. Certainly, we want to drive brand. In this particular case, I would tell you that community is very important. So maybe we want to be part of our community. And maybe we want to leave a legacy, and with your experience, you know what it's like to be an employee, so you decided, you know, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be an employer of choice when I start my business. So you go to bed that night an entrepreneur, and you wake up in the morning with tactical issues because you're now an employer, and you've got to hire your first employee. So you have things that start to come to fruition, things like payroll and taxes, workers' compensation, healthcare benefits, compliance, EEOC, wage and hour, ERISA, HIPAA, COBRA, time systems, audits, 5500s, ACA, FMLA, and the list can go on and on and on. So if you're anything like you're a small business owner, you know that this stuff creates what I call a lot of noise. So this noise typically then resonates up to the C-suite, and the C-level execs get in a room and they think about, how do we silence this noise? I really was, excited about opening this business and trying to drive profits and revenue, leave a legacy, et cetera. And all of a sudden I have all this noise. So a lot of small business owners go out and they start building out silos. So they go out and they get potentially ADP for payroll, Gallagher for their benefits and healthcare, maybe Brown & Brown for workers' compensation and property and casualty. Maybe they go to Aflac because the gentleman with the duck walks in and says, if you're going to be an employer of choice, you have to have supplemental benefits. You're growing, so you need a time labor management system. And certainly human resources is important to every small business. You might go out and get EPLI insurance because you care about risk and compliance. And the last one, you might have an attorney on retainer. What we forget as small businesses that when you build out these silos, you actually need real people to manage those silos. So you have to get employees that are either currently employed to help manage it. And when I talk about manage, you guys know what I mean. Invoice reconciliation, healthcare enrollments, payables, training and development, payroll and taxes, managing time and attendance, converting it to a general ledger, all the little different tactical things that we need to do as employers. So you hire a great employee to go be a director of HR, and for the next 12 months, they're doing employee enrollments, reconciling invoices, processing payroll, and from a strategic perspective, are they really growing their careers in human resources, and can they exit your organization in 5 or 10 years stronger, better, more knowledgeable employee, and are they doing things that they like to do? So I'd argue that we create more noise at times by building out silos, and so because we forget that real people have to manage those silos. There's also an investment in each of these silos, right? So nothing comes free. So as you build out silos and you buy products and services, there's an investment to them. So what we started to begin to do is really, do a deep dive diagnostic through these silos, because we think that there are times where these are separate and disparate systems, and so it's very hard to navigate through that maze. So we will go ahead and vet out the employee life cycle. So we'll sit with your team and go through, how do you recruit and find talent? We all know it's a tight labor market right now. How do you onboard them? How do you pay them? How do you train them and develop them? How do you integrate with that general ledger? What does their benefit program look like in total? How do you coach and counsel and create disciplinary action and a succession plan? And how are you developing the longevity around your employees? And so we do that deep dive diagnostic to provide you with an opportunity to see if we can do for you what our clients tell us we do a really good job at, which is consolidating these silos through one single sign-on piece of technology managed by our people who we think and feel deserve a seat at that table. And so we can get you back to focus on strategy. The surveys show today that small businesses are only spending 25% of their time on strategy and 75% of their time on tactical. So I think we have an opportunity to reframe that. And our goal all the time is to get you to reverse that and focus 75% of your time on why you sat on the couch to begin with, to grow your business and to become profitable, be an employer of choice, leave the legacy if you want, be part of your community, and get you focused on driving, right? So that's kind of our value proposition. I think, by the way, I would have bet on the over as well, and I would have called Vegas. I actually thought for a second, not that I have a bookie, but I was born and raised in Coscob, Connecticut, which is a little Italian suburb of Greenwich. And in Coscob, Connecticut, where a lot of Italians live, we don't have necks in Coscob. Nobody has a neck. And the reason that is because we don't know anything. Nobody knows anything. They haven't solved a crime in Coscob in 25 years. Please come to the door. Hey, what'd you see? We didn't see anything. Stop, right? But I did have somebody I could have called and maybe had a line. But I would have bet the over. So I'm going to give Dan his wish and talk just another 30 seconds to get me over so I win my bet. But thank you guys for having us here. We really appreciate the opportunity to be sponsors. We'll try to do this every year if we're allowed. We appreciate the invite, Ted and team, and thank you. Have a great afternoon, and I wish you guys great success this year. Good luck to the new officers. All the best to the past. May 2019 be the best year ever. Thank you so much.
Well done, Phil. Well done. Well done. Phil, good job. Good job. Oh, Dan, are you coming back? Oh, yeah, we're going to do some door prizes. Can I choose who comes up, though? It has to be Ashley? Could it not be Karen? Okay, so we want Ashley to come up. Oh, that's right, you're the local guy. So again, just for those, who are looking at it, we get two clunky guys to give away their door prizes versus a delightful group of other people. Karen Tedesco, we just come up and join them too. So you came all the way to Atlanta and you got dressed up and everything for that. So thank you, Phil. Great overview. We thank Venture. They have done a great job for the Chamber of Commerce. What I'd like you to do, they're giving, Brian, are you calling somebody? Hold on. Brian Kendall's calling somebody. We're good.
Always works.
Oh, you couldn't hear. Okay, just checking. All right, so not only did they give us this great thing in these 3 door prizes, I want you at your table, now they've already cleaned yours off, I want you, gentlemen, I want you to put this in your pocket like I have. They have a flyer here with a 10% discount. They have a business card. Is that the one you've drawn already? Oh, you're ahead of the game. I'm continuing to promote Venture, sir. I'm continuing to promote Venture. They have these cool mints, right? So John Hofstede, right? Get the one from Ray Sansom before he eats it all. Hello, Sansom. It's good to have you here. Tricia and Ray Sansom are here. So I want you to reach over and get the mints that they provided for us. That was fabulous. Did you get the mints? They got this cool mini USB fan, right? So you want to take that. I mean, it's like Santa comes to the house here. They have this thing for the back of your phone. So I want you to make certain that you are now taking that from your table and either putting it in your pocket like I did. And there's a payday. Jennifer Adams, there's a payday in there too. Did you get that already? So your table is cleared out. Everyone has put their stuff away from Venture to take. If you want more, there's a couple of tables over there that people didn't sit at. The Sunrise City Church guys are here. You guys are always over there, right? Did you get your mints and candy and everything? All right, good. See, they got extras because no one sits with them. So they get extras. You can take one person. So there's 3 of you at a table of 8. Share the rest of them. Anyway, so we have 3 door prizes, folks, that our friends from Venture have given us today. Will you please, Ashley, hire the sales representative from here? Ken Hare. Ken Hare, you have won a prize. So Ken Hare, you will come up and get the basket of cheer. You'll get the basket of cheer if you Ken Hare. Ken Hare, of course, sitting all the way in the back. Thank you for that. So we're going to now have the second prize. And look at these are gift baskets chock full of Venture thing. And I'm going to give this to you, actually, because you're going to follow up with Ken Hare because he might be a customer. And now the next one here, look at this. Allie Bachler from Emerald Coast Harley. Look at that. She knew she was going to win, so she was up anyway to come on over here. So Allie Bachler from Emerald Coast Harley Davidson has also won the prize. Over there, ma'am. Over there, please. Oh, we got to jump. Look at that. So here's another card for you for the winner. You can follow up and tell them what they've done with the prize. And then thirdly, our friend Ms. Black coming over here to take pictures. Phil, she's the official Venture photographer coming over here. I'm over that. And last but not least, the third valuable Venture prize would be, oh, there's more? This is the thing. Oh, this is the last one I see. So we have 2 baskets that have been given away. And now we have a $100 gift card. A $100 gift card. And that will go to Donna Tassick from the Ark. Donna Tassick from the Ark. Yay is right. Actually, take Donna's card so you now have the 3 winners. And that is Venture doing a wonderful job. And we thank them for their sponsorship today of this grand event. So now, folks, while they're getting their photo taken, R.J. Murdoch or Epi Azaretto on our screen are going to prepare you for the chamber events coming up. Phil, you can come down. You can schedule your travel down here based on chamber activities, right? You can take a picture of them with your phone and say, oh, that's right. Let's start off with this. The Nothing But Networking is the second Thursday. That's going to be at Rockin' Taco, so you want to go to that. That's a great networking event. We have the Winter Guest Fest presented by Resort Quest at the, Tisha, where's it at again? Oh, that's right. It's at the Emerald Coast Convention Center, the newly remodeled Emerald Coast Convention. Melissa, yes? Is there a question on the remodeling? We're excited to be at the Emerald Coast Convention. Folks, if you have snowbirds as a possible guest for you, as a possible customer, you still have time to register a booth for Thursday, January 17th. We have a business after hours on the 3rd Thursday, January 17th at the Emerald Coast Science Center. Right, Diane Frazier? Just trust me, it's at the Emerald Coast Science Center, and Diane Fraser's out there right now, or she's doing some type of scientific study in preparation for that. Here's our committee chair. We have lots of committees this year. Oh, we got this. Okay, well, Vince Mayfield, come on up. But we have the committee ones. Okay, let's do Vince first. All right, so we're going to do the committees afterwards, but we have this great event called Business Leaders Together. It's on February 1st at 11:30, and I'm honored to introduce one of the owners and one of our chair-elect from 2020 from Bit Wizards, the one and only Vince Mayfield, to tell us about it. Vince?
Thank you. Well, if you didn't come out in September, you missed a fantastic speaker, and Dr. Chuck Bamford. But in keeping with that, we're bringing you another great speaker. We're bringing Dr. Paul Schimm from the University of Georgia, and he's going to talk to us about what business leaders can learn from great coaches on building winning teams. And he's worked with Bobby Bowden and Dick Vermeil. That is going to be on the February the 1st, after the first Friday coffee over at the Island. And we'd love to have you come out and learn a little bit about what it means to have a great coach. Thank you.
Thank you, Vince Mayfield, and thank you for the Bit Wizards for the sponsor of that event. So lots of stuff here, folks, for you to learn and network with. And then our committee chairs right there. We have all those committee meetings. You can contact the Chamber of Commerce, or you can take a picture of that. But lots of committees that you, as a chamber member or a guest of the chamber, can participate in. Get involved. Lots of fun things. I want to talk about two very important chamber marketing opportunities for here in 2019. I mentioned Wayne Harris earlier. Wayne's a good friend of the chamber, former county commissioner, former Crestview Chamber of Commerce guy. Now he's working with his son at the Harris Chamber team, They're going to be publishing our 2019 membership directory. And this is a directory that'll be distributed throughout all of our chamber membership, through various lodging facilities and various locations in the community. I highly recommend that you get involved in that. Wayne has a table over there. There's Wayne over there. Look, there he is right there. He stood up, and now he's back down again. But Wayne Harris, great job on that. This is really a wonderful way for you to get your business name out to the tourists and the fellow chamber members and residents of our community. Wayne will be handing those out on the way out. You'll get some emails, you'll get some correspondence from the Chamber of Commerce on that. But just think about that. I believe an absolutely spectacular way for you to promote your business within our community. And then we have some events coming up. The first one with our friends from the Destin Chamber, Julie Cotton, on March 28th. We have the Destin Fort Walton Beach Chambers Taste and Business Showcase. It's at the Emerald Coast Convention Center again, and we'll have lots of opportunities for you to promote yourself. We call it the Okaloosa County's largest cocktail party. Have about 1,000 folks that attend. That's something you may want to participate and sponsor, so think about that. Get in touch with Rochelle. Here it is on April 13th, the Military Family Appreciation Day. Certainly, Phil mentioned our support of the military here, which is obviously very prominent. We have that event. You can sponsor that. We can still have a title sponsorship opportunity for you to participate in that. So contact the chamber about that. That's on April 13th. And then Billy Bowlegs Pirate Festival that first weekend in June, May 31st and June 1st. Lots of opportunities to sponsor the fireworks, sponsor the festival itself. So some event sponsorships that we do in the community to help promote the wonderfulness of our community. You may think that it's a great way to attach, for example, just like Bank of England Mortgage did last year, they sponsored the fireworks. You too may want to, as the Island did also, you may want to consider one of our events to sponsor. So that's our chamber updates. Nick, are you ready? Okay, good. So each and every year, folks, we have a Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, as I mentioned, and they select one of their own, and they lead the chamber. And in this case, our good friend Nick Chubb, who's been involved with the chamber for over 10 years. He was a town of Cinco Bayou council member for 10 or 12 years also. Owns a company called Cabinets R Us. He's delightful, and we're honored now to have our 2018 chair, Nicholas Chubb. Nicholas!
Thanks, sir. Good morning. How is everybody? Good. Well, I'll try not to bore you then, because we're going to get to some awards and recognition of some more people that are most deserving of everybody's applause and congratulations. You know, 2018, as I said in the Coastlines article, and as every past year before me has said, the year went by so fast. I mean, it was just a fast-paced year. I think 2018 had a few more challenging topics that we tackled. You might have heard about the sales tax. That did consume an awful lot of our time. We spent hundreds and hundreds of hours working behind the scenes on that. The other thing that took up a good bit of the front end of the year was working on the golf view. I hope a lot of you were able to get downtown and see that historic building literally crawl like a snail's pace down 98. It was truly remarkable, and it was a great festive atmosphere in downtown, kind of foretaste of what Mayor Rynearson and Michael Beaty have in store for downtown Fort Walton in the coming years. So that was a good chunk of our year spent on those two primary projects. I want to just extend my thanks to our fantastic staff. I mean, you hear that time and time again, but they truly are remarkable. And give them a hand. And our executive committee, I think, and I've been on a couple, I think has been the best executive committee we've put together. So would you all please just give them a hand? You know what, without both the staff and the executive committee, I mean, they made my job a lot easier in 2018. I mean, we did a lot of brainstorming and a lot of good ideas bounced back and forth, and we just somehow managed to pull it all together. So if you look back, we already talked about the golf view, you know, moving that down through town. A couple blocks, that'll become a welcome center and some primo office space, right, Mel? Bowlegs, Mayor, I'm sorry, you guys lost again. Andy, cut him some slack this year, okay? One hopeful place. Nathan, I saw you back there in the back. Numerous new contributors. We've got some major donations that came in 2018, and the most significant impact was the Impact 100 grant for over $100,000. So that's going to permit phase 2 to leapfrog ahead on the time horizon and start making One Hopeful Place the place we thought it could be. Brooks Bridge, you know, we've talked about it for years. It's a reality, folks. I mean, occasionally we run into people that don't believe it, but FDOT approved the final design. It's slated, and within 4 years, you're going to see the dirt start moving. And speaking of moving, around the mound, we worked on this. You know, it's another topic that's been discussed for decades around here. But rerouting traffic around the mound to make downtown that vision of a true entertainment district, a walking community. That has been granted FDOT funding for the feasibility study starting this year. So that will push that way up on the project list if the study proves that it is a viable project. So watch out for that one. And again, sales tax, you know, what can I say? This is something that's been long overdue, and we as a chamber got behind it, promoted it, and the voters understood that it is time and it has passed, and we will now have contributions from those that visit us, helping to pay for the infrastructure and public safety needs that we have in this area. Take 3 of those, put them together, and you're going to have a generational impact that's just going to be tremendous. It's not going to be overnight, but it's going to make a huge difference in Okaloosa County. So give yourselves a hand for being part of that. Thank you. Let's see, Ted's script here was so long. All right, mentioned the executive committee. What I'd like to do now is ask each one of them to come up and give you my personal thanks and a little token of appreciation and some screen time. If I've got the sequence right, Matt, if you would come up. Our 2019 chair. Yeah, we're doing them all up here, right?
Yep, here. Stand down here.
Oh, down.
One in front or down there? Over here.
All the way down there.
Come over here. Tell them to come up here and walk across and go down that way.
It'll be like new member. Be like new member.
None of this is scripted, by the way.
Thank you very much.
And by the time we get all of the executive committee, we'll have it figured out.
Very good. Just have them come up and go there. Just say their name, have them walk by here.
All right. Bill Roberts, past chair, past chair. Tammy McGoy. Our extended treasurer, past treasurer. All right, Stephen Smith. Thank you. Mark Hamrick. Nice catch. Make sure it fits. Vince Mayfield, Mr. Bitwizard. And Oksana. Thanks, Vince. Thank you. All right, group photo? Yeah. I can't talk and do this.
While Nick takes a photo, prepare yourself for what's coming up next on the agenda. This time, so he's talked about executive committee. Now it's time for our awards, and I want to make certain that you don't leave for these because we are now introducing a brand new award that you're back just in time for there. Did you all set with the phone call? Okay, good. Does anyone else need us to stop and make a phone call or anything? So there's our executive committee. Nick is coming up now. He has made his closing speech. He has now honored the executive committee. Now it is the meat of the program. Take the picture quickly, will you? Come on now. And he'll coming up. We're going to talk about a variety of things. So, including, I will share this. For those of you who are new, we will be issuing what is a tradition now called the Teddies. If you're new with Phil, if you're not aware of this, I started this about 10 years ago. It was not my idea. I don't know who it looks like. But we give this, our chair gives this away to folks who have done special things. So here he is back to give us awards, Nick Chubb.
All right, jumping on a different award. This past year we lost, I lost a good friend. The community lost a good public servant, community servant, and we felt it was a good idea. I wanted to do something to honor Hugh, and we created the Hugh Kendall Community Impact Award. And today, thank you. If I could have Jill, Macey, and Brian come up. You can come up on stage. While they're coming up, we'd ask Jill what she'd say about Hugh. It's kind of a brief bio. And her words were, he had a servant's heart combined with a love for people in this community. He was a heavy equipment operator by trade for the Air Force. This skill carried over to the core values of his community life. He would say, "Don't worry about the mule, just load the cart, I'll get it done." His generous spirit fueled his dedication to volunteer across a variety of vital organizations locally. And I know Hugh touched a lot of you. You were involved in different organizations with him, different fundraisers. He was an icon here at the chamber. He guarded the squirrel cage and door prizes with a passion for, I don't know, I think a decade. But Hugh is certainly missed, but we want to carry his spirit on with regards to community activism. The Hugh Kendall Community Impact Award recognizes and honors an individual for multiple forms of community engagement, including volunteer service, policy work, community organizing, advocacy, and/or leadership. The nominees were asked to demonstrate a deep commitment to partnering with others for the betterment of the overall community, outstanding ability to lead and inspire others, and have tangible evidence of sustainable impact of his or her work in our community. Now, we had almost a dozen nominees, and these are from different volunteer organizations throughout the community. The person that has been selected by the committee, the person has been a key person in an auxiliary program at a local hospital. They've held multiple positions during a nearly 20-year service. This person's longest position was as a chairperson for one of their subsidiaries, that they were able to help in providing scholarships to students within our community pursuing health-related degrees, continuing that service to our community. This person works tirelessly for any organization, and this is from the nominator's perspective. She works tirelessly for any organization she's involved with, and that involvement, excuse me, includes Maddie Kelley Art Center, Cross Point Church, and Niceville Republican Woman. Currently, she is the Auxiliary Board Treasurer, Miss Wanda Stapleton, Twin Cities Hospital. Wanda, would you come up?
We did not announce who the winner was in advance, so Wanda, who is here in attendance, was not aware that she was the winner, so she is now seemingly pleasantly surprised with this award. We'll just say, Wanda coming down there, Nick and the Kendall family will come down and honor that. Marsha Wright Reynolds take the photos. Again, what you have, if you haven't had a chance to meet this wonderful Kendall family that we've known for so long, we have Jill Kendall, we have Brian Kendall, Hugh's son, and Macey Kendall, Hugh's daughter. So there we have it. Congratulations, Wanda. We're happy to have you here today. Very good. And again, if you did not know, Hugh his birthday was yesterday. So it's very topical that we have this every year here. Hugh Kendall worked with us with bow legs, and he came up with a nothing but networking name, and just a long time good friend of our Chamber of Commerce. So a happy birthday to you, Hugh, and on behalf of your family. And Wanda, congratulations, Wanda Stapleton from Twin Cities Hospital as this year's winner. We're very proud. Next year, think about it, start nominating folks now if you'd like, that you have folks such as that. Wanda has been a volunteer. It said here, she has a pin for 19 years of service. She just received a pin for 23 hours of volunteering. So again, congratulations to Wanda Stapleton, Twin Cities Wellness Center. Jill and Macey and Brian, we just stand here just for a moment. Do you want to say anything, Jill?
Thank you, Ted. I appreciate this. I think a community thrives when commerce meets the passion of the people about where they live. And I think that's why we're all here today. Hugh loved living here, and he appreciated this community, and he had a real spirit of giving. That was something that I learned very early on in our relationship. And Brian's taken on those steps of his dad over in Tallahassee and volunteering. And of course, my goal is that Macey will do the same in her community, wherever she decides to plant herself one day down the line. But I'll tell you, with any recognition he's ever had, and he had a very high one in civil service, I think this would be his highest appreciated honor to have this award named after him for the time that he gave to the chamber. So I appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Well, the next, and I think Ted has already given you a foreshadowing of the infamous Teddy Awards, but stay here. The first award that I've selected is to honor Hugh Kendall. And there we go.
So you get the first Teddy Award. Hugh Kendall, for his birthday, gets a bobblehead of the Teddy Award.
Thank you. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
This will be the hottest item on kids' Christmas lists next year.
I see a Christmas card, yeah, definitely.
All right, now I'm going to go over here. Nick, if you'll announce the other ones, all the rest of the winners will come over here to this area.
All right. For the second Teddy Award, First Friday Coffee Facilitator. That's how I labeled it. And that would be for First Baptist Church. And if Dr. Wade Humphreys is here to accept the Teddy on behalf of the church, this beautiful facility that we get to use here, they've been very gracious. They're more than accommodating for us. And it looks like Greg Black will come up and accept it. Thank you, Greg. Ted has it down there at the end.
Thanks, Nick. Dr. Humphreys didn't want to overshadow.
All right. The next Teddy, Best Business After Hours. Now, we have some pretty awesome business after hours that our sponsors put together. But I don't think there was any doubt, and I didn't even attend this. Heard, saw, and heard more. RPM. David Presnell, come on down.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
And for those of you that didn't go and somehow didn't hear about it, that was it was an island-themed event at the island. Many funny stories coming out of that. Check it out on Facebook. My next Teddy Award goes for Community Commitment. And this person is making a difference in so many ways that affect our community, from jump-starting one hopeful place to providing new levels of medical care to insightful participation on numerous boards. He sat on our chamber board, and unfortunately, he is not here today. And I know he doesn't like being singled out, so Vicki, please don't tell him. But without a question, Mitch Mongell. Vicki, if you want to. And for those of you that might not know it, Mitch is CEO of Fort Walton Beach Medical Center. Our next Teddy, Most Outstanding Committee Chair. Now, this chair was so enthusiastic and jazzed about taking her committee to a new level. Attendance went up. Matter of fact, it went up so much that some people couldn't get in, right, Ken Hare? People learned that you had to get an RSVP in to attend one of these events, or you wouldn't get in. And creativity, some dynamic new things were introduced. And I'd like to give my thanks to Kim Denman, Nothing But Networking. Try not to bobble. All right, next award, Teddy Award, would be the Shining Star Supporter. This person's been involved in numerous fundraising endeavors, but stepped up to a whole new level this past year. His focus is on one of our chamber's initiatives, and that is making a difference in assisting those less fortunate in need of a helping hand, those at One Hopeful Place. And the Teddy goes to Wes Fell, Paradise Promotions of the Emerald Coast. Thank you, Wes. All right, my next Teddy, chamber advocate, supporter, and Facebook photographer. This person is at seemingly every event and many, many meetings. He has documented so many events on Facebook and is always at the chamber. Many of you think he's actually part of the staff. He is always promoting our chamber, even though he's involved in several other chambers. He's at early morning meetings and late afternoon ribbon cuttings, even though Ryan lives in Crestview. I don't know when he has time to buy new socks, but Ryan, this Teddy is yours. Ryan Price, Air Force Enlisted Village. Come out of the light. Nice. Hey, Ryan. In honor of you, Ryan. Okay. Community Impact Award. This Teddy is being presented. I mean, this is one of the most generous communities, or it is probably the most generous community I've ever lived in. And Janet and I have lived in a lot of communities around the South. So many folks are willing to donate to numerous charities and nonprofits. I mean, we've already seen part of this here tonight, or this morning. I wrote this last night. But so many people willing to take the lead, put on events, and encourage others to join in the giving. I've mentioned one of their grants earlier, and I'm talking about Impact 100. Ladies, thank you for making a difference in Okaloosa County. And Lisa Jo Spencer, if you would accept as president. All right, just a little play on words. Next Teddy is tourism de force. Our area embraces and relies on tourism. We all know that. We are seeing major changes to our visitor composition and vacation times. Just see the traffic patterns aside from the construction on 98 in Destin. Our airports are setting records. Our roads, well, that's being worked on. But a major reason for all the changes is our new TDD director. Her approach is making a difference. Jennifer, if you would come up. Jennifer Adams, director. Thanks. All right, now, I'm breaking script again, Ted. The next Teddy is the Outstanding Staff Award. Ted doesn't like to recognize the staff. This is a member organization, but I'm sorry, I can't do it because this is such an incredible team we've got here. And I don't think you can find a better, more efficient staff, chamber staff, anywhere in this country. So you make my job easy, you're gonna make Matt's job easy, and all the past chairs can attest to it. So chamber staff gets a Teddy, and Ted will accept on behalf of the staff. Since he's already got it in his hand. All right, my next Teddy, I'm calling the Chairman's Choice Award. Created the title for this because the person is already a recognized business leader, a board member, and chamber leader. He has brought his unique humor and insightful business perspectives to our executive team. He researches and provides analysis, many times in lengthy emails, about issues that we tackle. He's not just my choice, but he's your 2020 chair. Vince Mayfield. Thank you very much. All right, and the last Teddy goes Best Supporting Spouse. All I can say, Janet, is thank you for everything you did to help get me through this year, and I know you'll continue to support, even though it won't be for this chamber. But couldn't have gotten through it without you. Thank you. Time to check text. All right. Well, that's it for the Teddies. Now to some of the more serious awards. Every quarter we recognize the ambassador of the quarter. Most of you know the ambassadors because of the green jackets or green shirts. Many of you are or have been ambassadors. What you may not know is we do an annual award for the Ambassador of the Year, and it's the Jim Glenn Ambassador of the Year. Jim was a fixture, and as Ted pointed out earlier, past director. After retiring from the 35-year career in the Air Force as a fighter pilot, he started his own defense contracting firm in Shalimar. He joined the chamber in '83 and became involved with the ambassadors. He was chair in '88 and a life director in 2008. And he was the host of the Business Forum television show. If you all watched this over the past couple decades, he was on it and sat in that interview slot for over 20 years. Jim also served on the board of directors of the Armament Museum. He was past president of the Air Force Association, member of the Dedalians, and of the Okaloosa County EDC. I can remember when I joined the chamber and immediately got involved in the ambassadors, Jim was there. I've got photos of First Friday coffees with Jim. But Jim has been, Jim has been just an icon in what ambassadors stand for. Typically, the Ambassador of the Quarter is based on ribbon cutting attendance, event participation, and just general contributions to the ambassador's efforts. The ambassador chair presents the award here at First Friday Coffee every quarter. Now I mentioned ribbon cutting attendance. Although no one will match Paul Singleton's record for attendance, right, Paul? There is someone who tries to make every event. And this person is always smiling whenever you see them. They encourage their fellow ambassadors. They create a team atmosphere within the ambassadors. This person also helps organize event participation of the ambassadors and has responsibility for making certain that we don't end up at a ribbon cutting without the gold scissors and green ribbon or the chamber banner. All in all, this person has overall or had overall responsibility for the ambassadors in 2018. My thanks and recognition from all of you to Bernita Everett. The next award is the Mert Wagner Volunteer of the Year Award. I didn't see Mert. Mert's been at most of the first Fridays this year. Mert was the chamber photographer for more than 20 years. He took every photo at every ribbon cutting, every event. I mean, anywhere we had chamber people gathered, Mert was always there. Mert is known for his famous shake it up. And I was hoping he'd be here so he could go give us another one. But he did that to try to get everybody relaxed and loosened up before he took a photo. Mert always has a smile ready to greet you. You know, he worked First Friday coffees, ribbon cuttings, business after hours, bow legs, Mardi Gras, and just, again, anywhere chamber people gathered. He was there, his camera was there. Mert won the Volunteer of the Year Award in 2006. And we honored his dedication and commitment by naming the Volunteer of the Year Award after him in 2007. The individual I selected for this year's award has been involved in numerous committees and events. I've worked closely with this person on several projects and always valued their contributions, the extra effort, and always managing to squeeze the chamber business into their schedule was much appreciated. We all have a challenge balancing that. But sometimes work for business and work for the chamber kind of merge. My chamber relationship with this person goes back more than 6 years. The hours and commitment required this year for chamber projects, those that I mentioned earlier, far exceed any previous year, especially those that I've worked with this person. Now, this person has received this award previously, but honestly, I couldn't find any reason not to recognize the enormous contributions he made to our Just Make Sense campaign and other projects. It's my honor, Stephen Smith.
Okay, all right. Let's do it. Let's do it over.
Marshall, we gotta.
Stay tuned, everyone. Coming up in just one moment would be the Small Business of the Year Award and the Corporate Business of the Year Award. And then Matt Turpin will be up to share his 2019 Taking Charge mission. So stay tuned. Nick, we're going to pick the pace up just a touch. And here it is back.
Oh, and Small Business of the Year Award. All right, this business has been in Fort Walton Beach for only 2.5 years. They joined the chamber to network and get their business known, as many of us do. The owner got involved in several committees and soon found their niche. Participating in many chamber events, they donate to many of our local charitable organizations and assist in fundraising activities. Philosophy of giving back is not just the local organization, it's part of the corporate mission statement. They have raised more than $30,000 for local charities. I know they have lots of chamber members as clients, and that list is growing. The owner has chaired one of our most business-focused committees and is joining our board this year, proving that the more you give and get involved in our chamber or your community, the better your chances of success. If you haven't figured out what business I'm talking about, then you've never held a glass of wine and a paintbrush at the same time. Painting with a twist. David Presnell and Barbara Dean.
Thank you.
David Presnell and Barbara Dean, the owners of Painting with a Twist, located in the public shopping center in downtown. A great opportunity for all your nonprofits and for fun every single day. There they are. Nick Chubb, the Small Business of the Year. Painting with a Twist, David Presnell, Barbara Dean.
All right. The next award is Corporate Business of the Year. This business believes also in giving back and serving the community. Since opening 4 years ago, it has dedicated both time and resources to our military and numerous community organizations. They hit the ground running and became active in our chamber, in various military organizations and charities. They have helped with fundraising, hosted numerous events, including Business After Hours, and have donated more than $100,000 worth of merchandise to various charity organizations. I think everybody knows Gus. So, Emerald Coast, Harley Davidson. Gus, come on up.
Daniel Gus off, the owner of Emerald Coast Harley Davidson, doing a great job. Corporate Business of the Year, joining the likes of Fort Walton Beach Medical Center and Cox and Fort Walton Beach Daily News and White Wilson and many other icons in our community. And there we are. Congratulations, the Corporate Business of the Year, Emerald Coast Harley Davidson.
All right, so that we give Matt a little bit of time up here, I'll forego the 48 slide PowerPoint I had for a wrap up. And I'll just say in closing, it's been a heck of a year, a heck of a ride. Janet and I have absolutely loved living here in the Emerald Coast. Matter of fact, I've never lived anywhere longer than what I've lived here, 14 years. So it's a bittersweet departure, but we will head up to North Carolina at the end of this month. We're going to miss a lot of you. We're certainly going to miss this chamber and all the friends we've made and the business relationships we've developed. My gratitude and thanks.
Nicholas Chubb, our 2018 chair, everyone. Matt Turpin, come on up here so we can pass you the gavel. The official passing of the gavel will occur between Matt Turpin and Nicholas Chubb, the ceremonial passing of the gavel from one chair to the other. I'm going to ask Laura Rakis and Mel Ponder to please work their way up towards the front, if they'd be so kind. So not only is he passing you the gavel, he's giving you a gift too, are you not, Nicholas? I think you are. So here it is, he's giving you a gift to wish you the best of joy on that. It's his 6-pack of Old Chubb that he got earlier today. He is now regifting accordingly. While they have a private conversation, will you, Nick, will you stay up here? And Matt, will you take that microphone from him?
I sure will. Happy to do it. Nick, we thank you for your service. There are 2 representatives here, Laura Rakis from Senator Gates' office, or Representative Gates' office, and I believe Representative Ponder, Mel Ponder, are here.
Right.
Please come on up. They have something they'd like to present to you.
We just want to honor you and thank you for the service. I know it goes well beyond just the prior year. You've been a great champion for our community and a great friend to the city and the area, and we've been blessed to have you in this leadership role. And just from my office, we want to give you a tribute to Nick Chubb. Whereas Nick Chubb manages Cabinets R Us, a successful family-owned kitchen and bath remodeling company with more than 30 years experience in the field, and whereas Nick Chubb has served the public through his past on the town council of the city of Cinco Bayou from 2006 to 2018, and whereas Nick Chubb has served on the board of the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce from 2012 to 2015 and from 2016 to present. And whereas Nick Chubb served as chair of the board of the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce for 2018, now therefore be it respectively proclaimed that Nick Chubb is honored for all of his service to the public and the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce through the years. Sincerely, Mel Ponder, Representative. Congratulations.
Laura Rackus from Representative Gates' office. Congressman, pardon.
Good morning. On behalf of Congressman Matt Gaetz, I have a certificate of special congressional recognition presented to Nick Chubb in recognition of outstanding and invaluable service to the community, signed by Congressman Gaetz from the United States House of Representatives. Thank you, Nick, for everything you've done for our community.
Thank you both very much. We have one last thing, so Nick, don't step down quite yet. We have one last thing, or I guess two last things to present you. One will be the smaller version of the gavel that you can take with you. It'll be easier to put up on the wall. So if you know a guy that can hang stuff or do cabinets or something, you may ought to ask them if they can do that. And then secondly, this is a symbol of what we're getting you. We've given you a gift certificate from the chamber staff to plant a tree in your front yard in North Carolina. So every time you have to rake leaves, you can remember us all the way from Fort Walton Beach.
Can I call for help?
Yes, but not me. So I'll give you this. I know your hands are full. I'll give you that. Thank you very much. Godspeed, yeah. We have to get this way.
Congratulations, Nick and Janet Chubb. Moving to North Carolina at the end of this month, as you heard, folks. So a tree planted in honor of our friends here at Fort Walton. And here he is, your 2019 chair, Matt Turpin from Bank of England Mortgage.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'll only take 45 minutes of your time, so we'll be out of here very soon. No, I am Matt Turpin. I'm excited to be the chair of the board for the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to 2019, and hopefully welcome to the first day of sun in quite some time. Still hopeful for that. I just have a few minutes of your time. I'll be very respectful. One of my qualities and what I aspire for is to be efficient. Much like the cook that was applying for a job at the Navy, and they asked him what his qualities were, and he said, well, I can cook minute rice in 58 seconds. So I'm trying to be very efficient with our time we have today. I'm originally from Birmingham, Alabama, born and raised, and no, I was not born with a beard, but I grew one quickly after. Went to Auburn University. Oh, nice, thank you. Yeah, your time's coming, Alabama. In 2010, married my beautiful wife, Casey, who's an interior designer and a graduate of the University of Alabama. There's your chance, yeah. She's an interior designer and has a furniture staging company here in town. So we understand small business and how the chamber benefits small business. A few things about me: I am a workhorse. I'm a workhorse in business, and I'm a workhorse in our community. When I was in high school, at practice one day, we were having trouble focusing and executing our plays. Coach huddled us up and said, men, if you don't know who to hit somebody. And that resonated with me, even today in business. Now, we don't go hit people, but it went from, if you don't know what to do something. And that is what we're going to do. We always do something at the chamber. We will always be doing something. When Casey and I first moved to town, one of my first meetings was with Ted. And wanted to meet with Ted. And Ted, do you remember where we met?
I do, I'm over here.
He's a magician. Do you remember where we met?
I do. I'm still marveling that you were in the Navy. I didn't realize that.
No, I'm not a Navy cook. I said
we met at a chamber member restaurant.
Yes, exactly. A chamber member restaurant. Very good. And one of the things we talked about was how to make this place our home and how to get involved. And much to your surprise, what do you think the first thing he said was? Very good. Get involved with the chamber. So we did, and started that by just going to the First Friday coffees and handing out door prizes. And in doing that, I got great nicknames like Abraham Lincoln. I got Duck Dynasty, that was another one. Teen Wolf, which was one of my favorite ones. And then what stuck is Zach Brown. So, and from that 2014, got elected to the board under Ron Grissom. 2015, served as a treasurer. And here we are today, 2019. So I'm excited about being the chamber chair. In making this a part of our community was getting involved with different boards. And I had started by saying I want to get involved with 4 different boards. So I got involved with the chamber, got involved with the Arc of the Emerald Coast, got involved with Horizons Foundation, got involved with the Sales Tax Oversight Commission, got involved with the Crew of Bowlegs, which I love, and I think Captain Andy and I think Queen Barbara were here today. Also got involved with the William Augustus Bowles Museum and Historical Foundation, which will be going in the Gulfview here hopefully next month or in the next few weeks. So if you count, that's way past more than 4. I'm kind of good at math, but I had a problem saying no. But now you can ask John Roper if I still have that problem saying no, being on his board of the ARC. I am looking forward to this year. I'm looking forward to taking charge, which for my love for piracy and love of being in the crew. The theme is taking charge. So when you say it, you have to say it that way. And that came from, we have so many successes from 2018, but those didn't start in 2018. The foundation for that was laid years before that. But somebody has to take charge, some organization has to take charge to go forward. And that's what we're going to do. That's what we have done. That's what we're going to continue to do in 2019. I do have a few people to thank because I'm going to cut it short a little bit so we can keep rolling and I'm efficient with time. I do have a few people to thank. I would like to thank my beautiful wife, Casey. I'm asking this, I'm saying this ahead of time because there'll be many times where she either has to go to a chamber event with me or will go to a chamber event with me. So I'm asking for forgiveness and permission ahead of time. I also have to thank Michael Castleberry, Bank of England. Most of you guys know me. I am the local CFO for the Bank of England. Our job is to grow, and that's what we're going to do. We specialize in making people's dreams happen. And we do a lot of VA lending. So I want to thank Michael for allowing Bank of England, our group, to be involved with the chamber because it does take away from work. Those that have been involved know the time commitment. I've said this a couple of times that my phone thinks that I live at the chamber. So wherever I get in my car, it tells me how far I'm away from the chamber. I do want to thank the Bank of England staff. Our staff has stepped up to help out with nothing but networking. So I do appreciate their help, Stephanie Shea and those around here. I do appreciate that. Thank you to the board for entrusting me to take on the 2019 leadership. And I am looking forward to a fun year of taking charge. So you have to say it that way. Now I think we will introduce the new board members.
Executive board.
The executive board member, thank you. It's always nice to have a microphone in the background, just in case I turn the wrong way. So this is the 2019 Executive Committee. These are who I've chosen to serve as the Executive Committee. And that would be the 2020 Chair-elect, Vince Mayfield.
We're going to ask all the executive committee to come over here to that booth over there next to Seth Luttrell and get your photo taken, please.
We will have the Bill Roberts is the outgoing chair. He since Nick is the literal outgoing chair, I asked Bill to hang around one more year, and he said he would. We have the treasurer, which is Stephen Perkins. Stephen's he here?
He's not here today.
Okay. We also have Heather Ruiz. Jason Floyd, which I do not believe he's here today. He will be also on the executive committee. Steve Baxter will also be on the executive board. Oksana will also be on the board again. Sure, sure. And Mark Hamrick will also be on the executive board.
And there we have, so Matt Turpin taking charge here in 2019. He's going to join his executive board, and I'm going to bring up the remainder. I'm going to introduce for the first time the new board members for 2019-2020 who will join the board. Starting off with Barbara Britt. Barbara Britt is on our new board. Lisa Captain from Cumulus Broadcasting is on our board. Diane Frazier from Emerald Coast Science Center, come on up here. David Presnell, the Small Business of the Year Award, come on up here and get your picture. Paul Steinbeiser from Edward Jones, please come on up and join the board. And Gus Off from Emerald Coast Harley. Those are your new board members. So they're going to join there. And the remaining board members are Steve Baxter, Kim Denman, Mark Hamrick. All you folks will come up and have your photo taken with the full board. Heather, Vince, Vicky Taro's on our board. Donna Tassig is on our board. Melissa Allegretto, who started things off so fabulously with the song. Come on up here and join the rest of them. Jason Floyd's out of town. Olin Holston, Leslie Mullen from White Wilson, Patricia Payne, Oksana Tracy Stage. Those, my friends, are the representatives from the Chamber Board. And joining them again is our life directors, Kathy Houchin, Lisa Jo Spencer, and Peggy Brockman. Peggy, oh, you will be soon. Sorry about that. So there they are. That's our board. That's who's going to lead us here in 2019. Matt Turpin taking charge through the time frame. Next month, right here, we're here all year from First Baptist Church. We appreciate Greg Black and everyone here for that situation. Next month, we're here the first Friday in February with Warren Averett as our sponsor. I want to thank our friends Venture for coming down. Phil and Karen and the rest of the gang here, thank you very much. It was well done. Did you enjoy yourself? That's fantastic. You loved it, you said. Oh my gosh, that's spectacular. We loved having you all here, folks. Take your candy, take your paydays, take your treats. Let's have a good year in 2019, shall we? Thank you for your membership in the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce.